Welcome to Friday Fix number 10. It's good to see you again. Today we're going to pick up right where we left off with word classes. We were looking at the word fast and how it was an adverb in our sentence, but it could also be used as an adjective. It was an odd coincidence that the video was released on the very day that our school celebrated Fastelavn, the Danish holiday that marks the beginning of Lent. Lent is the 40-day fast before Easter. Look, there's that word again. And now it's a noun. There are many different meanings of the word fast. Oddly enough, Merriam-Webster lists nearly 40 of them. But the most interesting thing about fast is that it can be any of the 4 major word classes. Lent is the 40-day fast before Easter Sunday. Here, fast is a noun, and it means a period of time when you stop eating meat. A fast can be eating less, avoiding a certain type of food, or not eating at all. During Lent, we fast on Fridays. This fast is a verb, and it's the action of stopping a certain type of food. Many churches in the U.S. follow the tradition of avoiding meat on Fridays during Lent. As a kid, I always set my clock 5 minutes fast. This is a true story. Fast is an adjective here, and it means ahead. So when it was 12 o'clock on my clock, in reality it was just 11:55. In the morning when I was tired, I often forgot about this, so it helped me be on time because I had an extra magical 5 minutes. Of course, this doesn't work anymore now that all of my clocks are automatically set by the internet, but in the old days it was a neat trick. When you hit the snooze button, the extra 5 minutes go by so fast. Here's our adverb. It describes the verb go and tells about the passing of time. We could substitute the word quickly, which we know is an adverb, if we want to be sure. The extra 5 minutes go by quickly. Now let's look at some tips to identify word class. The first is to look at the end of the word. Some words have a suffix, or ending, that makes them into a particular word class. IZE is an ending that makes a verb, like mesmerize. The cats were mesmerized by the birds on the TV. Note that this spelling is for American English. In British English, ISE is used instead. But not all things that end in IZE are verbs. Prize ends in IZE, but that's not a suffix. Prize is actually another word that can belong to different word classes depending on how it's used. But you probably know some other suffixes like ness, which makes nouns, and ly, which makes adverbs. The second tip is to help you sort out adjectives and adverbs. You can test a word by substituting a different one, which you're absolutely sure you know the word class of. The meaning of the new word doesn't have to be the same, but you should avoid words that can belong to multiple word classes. What a great event! The host was lovely. We're going to use this tip because sometimes it can be hard to figure out. Is lovely telling us about the host? Host is a noun, so therefore lovely would be an adjective. Or is lovely telling us how the host is? Is a verb, so that would make lovely an adverb. Lovely ends in ly, so let's try our adverb from before. The host was quickly. No, that doesn't sound quite right. Let's try an adjective then. The host was famous. Aha, much better. It's an adjective. I chose lovely as a gentle reminder that there are exceptions to the rule with endings. Lovely is an adjective. or sometimes a noun, as in, hello, my lovelies. If you want an adverb, use lovingly instead. We learned today that a single word can belong to multiple word classes, so you must see how it's used in context to determine which word class it belongs to. We also saw 2 ways to help us identify word classes other than using the definitions that we saw last week. Be sure to practice word classes on your own. It's a key part of good grammar to make sure your sentence is built with the right parts. Have a lovely Friday, and I hope your weekend doesn't go by too quickly. See you next time!